there, you're listening to Your Life is Awesome, featuring true life stories about sex told by audience members at SmutSlams around the world. SmutSlam is a growing network of dirty storytelling shows founded in 2011 by me, Cameron Moore. We do our best to keep SmutSlam safe, but safe doesn't mean G-rated. Some of these stories are explicit as fuck. If you're not into that, now is a good time to get out. Otherwise, enjoy the show. Hello there, my freaky friends, and welcome to another episode of Your Life is Awesome. This episode was recorded in October 2025 in Berlin at Crack Bellmer. The theme, because it was October, was sweet and sour. Now, some of you might be like, what does that have to do with October? Well, I was reliably informed by Germans that they don't say trick or treat in Germany. They say sweet or sour. All right. So we wanted to keep things somewhat seasonal. We went with sweet and sour, sweet or sour. And I'll be honest, like the way people interpreted that evening, the theme was a little bit, I guess, to be expected. There's a little bit of pukey puke going on because sour, digestive. Anyway, you get the picture. I guess that's the content note you're getting for this particular episode. People went sour. They went all acid refluxy on us. And that is that. So they're not all that, but there's a fair few of that, all right? So just brace yourselves, have a glass of milk while you're listening. In between the stories, of course, you are going to get some fuck buckets, which is one of my favorite parts of SmutSlam, the anonymous questions and confessions that our audience members submit. It's an amazing way that they get involved with the show, help shape the show, and bring important discussion topics to the metaphorical table. So fuck buckets, that's what that is, and you're going to get a whole buttload of those in this episode. I want to thank all the tellers for giving us permission to share their stories on the show today. And for you listening there, strap in and we'll see you on the other side. My whole life, well, let's say since I became an active kisser, I was afraid that I had bad breath. No one complained, and I kissed many, but still, I was always so self-conscious until I overcame my shame and just asked my current partner. Turns out, I smell just fine. Shame is so powerful. Oh, yay! Okay, you know that phrase, terminally online? Right? You know that phrase, terminally online? Terminally at SmutSlam. This is this question. Terminally at SmutSlam. What would a human fuck bucket look like and do? Dun, da, 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 da! Looks like me. Since this person got meta, I'm gonna go ahead and get meta with you. I had a moment. I'm not a woo person. I'm not particularly woo. Do you know what the word woo is? Yeah, I'm not woo. I'm not very spiritual, but I had a moment of realization at a recent slam where it just seemed like the themes were coming up and the things were coming out of the fuck bucket were relevant to the ones before, and it just felt like this sort of like this creative thing that was happening. I was like, oh my God, the fuck bucket isn't an oracle the way that I've been saying. The fuck bucket is us talking to ourselves. I was not on any drugs. I was just so happy about the fuck bucket. Okay, I feel like some people in this room might be able to help. What are your best tips for cunnilingus that is successful and pleasurable? Ask. Bingo. Okay, bingo. Number one here. Because anytime you're talking about how to do things to other people's bodies or with other people, you gotta ask, because everyone's so different. And what one person likes on their pussy, another person's gonna be like, ew, what are you doing? Like, so you've got to ask, and that's a great thing to do at the beginning stage of the physical relationship, for sure. Anybody have any other tips? Enthusiasm. Okay, what if you don't know though? What if you're not sure? Just pretend like you're enthusiastic? Act it, okay. Fake it till you make it, baby. Yeah. So, like, you don't want to treat it like it's a chore. You don't want to treat it like it's a reciprocal, like, legal contractual thing that you have to get into. You want it to be like, oh man, I am so hungry. Yeah, you want to go into it with enthusiasm. For anybody else? Hi? Go slow. What if they want to bang in? I guess that's covered by asking them, right? Go slow, though. Yeah, generally go slow. Yeah. I have a tip, not just for cunnilingus, but every other damn thing that you do sexually with somebody else. If they have indicated to you they like what you're doing, if they say, yes, that, they maybe say it very quickly, yes, that. They don't mean to go quicker. Keep doing the thing that you're doing. Don't intensify. Don't go faster. Just, they told you what they like. Don't change it up in the middle. This is a common thing, right? This is a common thing that happens, right? People get excited. Just keep doing the thing that you're doing. It's getting the work done.
So I'm from Australia, and last year I went home to visit. And I'm from Sydney, and I had a lot of time in Australia, but only about 10 days in Sydney. So I thought, well, I've got to make sure I really make the most of my time here. So before I arrived, I got on Hinge, and I was looking for people to connect with. And I thought, okay, I have really limited time, so I got to really make sure I speed up the whole connection process and see if I can get a couple of dates out of this 10 days. And I connected with someone who I had a really good rapport with quite quickly, and we jumped off the platform and went on to normal WhatsApp or whatever, and we're sending voice messages. And yeah, it was really nice. He was funny. He was very chatty. I liked his Australian accent, and we were talking about things that just felt so familiar and comforting, and using Aussie slang, and it was really nice. And luckily, he was keen to meet immediately the next day or something. So we went for a walk, and yeah, the rapport was still really good in person, chatting. He chatted a lot about himself, but it was okay. I found him interesting. And it was nice. We went around a park. It was kind of a local park close to where I used to live. So it was all very nostalgic, even though he was a stranger to me. So I noticed that I was really enjoying his company, but I wasn't feeling such a huge attraction to him at that point. So we finished the walk, and as we were saying goodbye, I was thinking, like, oh, how are we going to wrap this up? And he said, I'm not going to kiss you because I'm going to build some anticipation. And I thought, that's a good line. Sweet. Nice work. I wasn't sure if I was really into him, but the line kind of made me more into him. So we kept chatting, and we planned another date in a couple of days' time. And he suggested this concert that was happening. There was some kind of cultural festival happening in Sydney at that point, and we went and saw some artists that were actually from the Ukraine and Berlin. And I thought, this is perfect because I live in Berlin, so I have this connection to this. It was kind of interesting to me for that reason, and also being part of this cultural scene in Sydney was cool too. So very good date suggestion. We went to the date. We sat next to each other. He put his hand on my knee, and I thought, oh yeah, this is nice, affectionate, good, sweet, good, ticking all the boxes. We went outside. We're walking around the harbour. The lights were beautiful. And at some point, we started kissing, and it wasn't so sweet for me. It wasn't terrible, but I was waiting for that moment to go, like, yes, I'm really into this person, and it just didn't really happen. But I still really liked him. I liked chatting with him. I was having a good time. The date went on for another hour or so. We kissed again. We kissed goodbye and parted ways. So by now, let's say maybe 5 out of the 10 days have passed that I'm in Sydney, and we were still texting, and he had suggested that we meet again, and I was saying, it was really hard to fit in now because I was seeing my friends and family as well. And he suggested going on a bushwalk and kind of made some allusion to how he likes bush intimacy. And I had sent him some photo of the bushland where I was because I was on a bushwalk with someone else, and he said, what was it? He said, that looks dry and scratchy, and I'll let you insert the crotch joke here. And so he was being funny. He was being cute and funny. I didn't mention before that he bought these tickets to the cultural thing, and I said, how much do I owe you? Can I pay? And he's like, no, it's on me, blah, blah, blah. So being super sweet overall. He also was having a house party, and he invited me to his house party, and he said that he was preparing a giant tiramisu in the bottom drawer of his fridge. He was just going to fill the whole bottom drawer of the fridge with tiramisu. It was just like a fun thing to offer his guests. And I was like, that's so cute and quirky and sweet. And he doesn't know me really, and I don't know any of his friends, but he's invited me to the house party. That's really nice. So I was thinking, should I go? It probably will be fun for me because he's a cool guy. He probably has fun friends too, but am I really into him? Like, do I really want to get something out of this with him at the end of the night? He's probably expecting that by now. Wasn't really sure. Anyway, I thought, look, I only have 1 or 2 more days in Sydney. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to just, I'm just going to see my friends and family for the last days. So I thanked him for the offer, and I said that I wasn't going to meet him. And he kind of gave me a short reply that he clearly was a bit disappointed, but he didn't really follow up. And then when I was leaving, I sent another message to sort of say, hey, thanks, nice to meet you, goodbye. And still I didn't hear back from him for a little while. And then I got a message with some screenshots of a handwritten note, 3 pages. And the note started off with, I used to be okay with these fleeting connections until I met you. And I thought like, oh, wow, this is getting deep. And then he went on, and I still wasn't sure where this letter was going because I had already left Sydney. And he said, but what really bothered me was that in this case I didn't have control because you were the one saying that you were coming or not coming and to meet me. And then he said, and then the last straw was, and I thought, oh, the last straw? Oh, I thought this was like some deep confessional love letter, but actually he was really pissed off. He was really pissed off. Things had really turned sour. And he was very offended that I didn't accept his bushwalk suggestion, and very offended that I didn't come to the party, and that I had really, really disappointed him and reminded him that he shouldn't kind of open his heart and take a risk on someone so soon. And at first I felt quite guilty, but then I thought, wait a minute, come on, we met on Hinge just a few days ago. What were you expecting? So I took my time, and then I wrote him a long letter back. Polite, but just outlining my position. And in the end, he gave me a short reply saying like, oh, thanks for sharing your thoughts. Yep, I see your point. And thanks also because you've prompted me to start writing again. And if you'd like to subscribe to my Substack, here's the link. Okay.
How is it? I'm most horny in the morning and it's fading during the day. Hormones. Daylight. Capitalism sucks. What? No, yeah, so the stress is like you're just waking up. I mean, it might be stressful, but yeah. You don't do anything about it and the body just says, fuck it. Wow, you owe it to your meat suit to do something about it. This is a very wise audience tonight, I can tell. I buy that 100%. If you were to have a YouTube video about that, I would 100% buy that shit. Oh, hey, nice. I'm finally starting to get into impact play. I don't get anything out of the act, but the sounds it makes my partner make are amazing. I love it. Okay.
So anyone wearing chainmail is like 100% more attractive. Am I right? That's the thesis of my tale. So this is a story from a long, long time ago. I was 20 years old. I was a girl. I was girling back then. I was invited to go to a LARP. This was a serious LARP. This was done by Russian people. They're serious about LARPing. So everybody had like actual chainmail out of actual metal that they made themselves. There were like reconstructioners who taught themselves how to be blacksmiths with full plate armor. It was very sexy for me. However, unbeknownst to me, being trans but not knowing, I was very dysphoric there. I was received the character of a hot blonde sorceress. I had hair back then, but it was not blonde. And I didn't feel very hot. So I came there very sour, and I'm basically the villain of this story. I came there very sour. I was like, didn't want to wear a skirt. I didn't want to wear anything. I was just invited by one of the people who ran the game so I could get away with anything. Somebody came to like do a scene with me at some point. I was just like smoking a hookah in the camp kitchen, just be like whatever. I don't know what you're talking about. But whenever I saw a hot guy in some chainmail, I would be like, "Ooh, mama, I would like to get with some of those guys." So I was just douching around in the kitchen the whole time, and every now and then a hot guy in chainmail would come over, and I would be like, you know. So I spent about a day and a half like that, just being kind of sour about it all. And then there was a feast, a huge game-wide feast. People played actual medieval music. There was an actual homemade like anise liquor. It was an actual medieval feast. These people are serious. However, nobody wore chainmail to the feast. They just wore some lame-ass tunics. And so I was extremely unimpressed at the feast, and also feeling very like, they were being very like chivalrous and very like in-game. Everybody was very serious about it. And I just wanted to get shit-faced on this anise liquor. And so while I was getting shit-faced with a friend of mine, some guy in some tunic comes over to me, and he's like, "Oh, my lady, you are so beautiful tonight. Will you have a dance with me?" And I'm watching people like doing these like nerdy ass dances, and I'm like, "No, man, get the fuck out of my face." And he said, "On the morrow you will regret this, when you see the army that I will lead into battle." And I was like, sure, move along. So I proceeded to get shit-faced, alone. At some point, puked in the bushes, went to sleep, woke up. Next morning I come out, yellow field in the sun, an army is preparing, and that fucking guy in fucking full plate armor and his chainmail, and I'm like, damn, I do fucking regret it. You should have worn chainmail to the feast. So that's the tale.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, all right. I've been sexting / role-playing with cis men online. And most seem barely able to construct a full sentence, even though they claim to be seeking text-based fun. Why? This is a question to the audience. How do ... So it says direct requests have not been successful. So like asking them to be more. How to elicit more. Sorry, what's that? Go for D&D Dungeon Masters. Yeah. Are you a Dungeon Master? Ah! Aha! Self-serving. I love it. Sex is nothing if not a little bit selfish. Okay, other suggestions. How do you, if you're doing a text-based thing, I mean, I run into this problem. I have run into this problem, certainly, in not just in text-based, not like in text-based stuff only, but like if I want to talk more, if I want more talking during the actual in-person sex, like it's not easy, but I'm sure that there have been conferences. I'm sure there have been conferences about the gender differences in online sex languages. I'm sure that exists. If not, it's yours. Run with it. But like, why? Any other thoughts? Why is that a thing? And how to change it? Men are not used to talking about sex. Mm-hmm. Men aren't used to talking about anything. They don't read fiction. I don't know what the stats are on that. This is your experience. I don't really know what the stats are, but I suspect you're right. Erotica is certainly a gender-dominated pastime. whether creating it or reading it. Any other thoughts? Men are more visual. I also suspect that is not entirely true. Yeah, I mean, the visual thing, it's an individual thing, but like that exists as a thing. That exists as a stereotype, so that's got to come from somewhere. If you can get them to mansplain it, they will talk forever about it. I mean, there is, we're coming back to like socialized. How are people socialized into gender and what comes along with the different genders? And certainly socialized as male has its own particular baggage around how do you express things? How do you say things that might be scary to express, This is a thing. Anybody else? How would you change that? How would you change that? Tell them what you want to hear. So say, I love it when you say blah, blah, blah. Or, okay. Give them an example and they'll pull it out later, hopefully. Anyway. Yeah, okay. So give them an example, hopefully, and they'll, okay. This, honestly, give them a minimum word count. Send them erotica or audio erotica. We're going to talk about that later. Yes, we got someone who offers coaching in erotica writing, which is not the same. It is related, but it's not the same as sexting. Like this is going to. It is, but like you can't send them to anything, right? You can't send someone to go if you haven't told them the problem. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, we're talking to people who need help in the moment. You can't make them go to your workshop. Yes, I get that. But like the person who's asking this question clearly knows how to do it. Give them a custom GPT that's pre-trained for yourself? No. Just so you know, among the many stances that SmutSlam has, we are firmly against AI. So I'm not sure what the answer is on this one. I find myself hearing these comments and going, this is more mental labor, isn't it? So I suspect the answer might lie something in the terms of like, you may not get to sext with the person that you want to sext with. Because that has to be something that they see in themselves as like, I lack this. I would like to learn it. I will go to a workshop. I will get better at this. But you shouldn't have to pick up the load on that. You might just have to you don't get to have everybody, all right? You don't get to have everybody. You go for the people who've got the things that you want. And the kind of guy that's got the texting and the word skills that you want, they are out there. You're just going to have to look a little harder.
This story happened over 10 years ago. It was one of my best friend's wedding. And the next day, I needed to catch a flight at 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. to go to my hometown for another friend's graduation party. So I was in a tight schedule, right? And the wedding was great. We were having a great time, my friend from college and her wife, a beautiful couple, beautiful ceremony, lots of drinks. And at some point, I start seeing some movement around, some whispers. And then somebody comes up to me like, hey, we're going to do an orgy after. Are you going to join? And I'm like, oh, okay. I know my people. It's a lot of talk. I went to film schools like artsy kids, like a lot of talk, not a lot of, not walking the walk. And I was like, no, you're not. I'm not going to miss my flight for this. I am not going. I am going to be a responsible person. But they kept, this person is going, this person is going. Are you going to miss out? You're going to miss out. And I'm like, oh, fuck. Fine, I'll go. So we get 2 cabs, right? And we leave. So it's me, 2 other single girls, 1 single guy, 1 couple that's 2 girls, and 1 couple, 1 girl and 1 guy. That is an orgy, right, by definition. So we stop for supplies at this gas station, condoms, alcohol, you name it. And we go to one of the girls' grandma's apartment that was empty. And we're like, okay, and I am on a schedule. So we get there, and everybody's kind of awkward, like, how the fuck did we start this? We didn't know, like, the warm-up games back then. I didn't have that knowledge. So as we're trying to initiate, one of the people, the girl from the straight couple, starts like blacking out drunk. She needs to get out to throw up. Her boyfriend goes after her. Is like, okay, that's fine. We still have enough people. Let's carry on. Pants off, people. Come on, I have a flight to catch. And then we start making the 2 girls, the couple are like, you know what? That's not for us. We're just gonna do our own thing. So they leave. That's 4 of us. Only the singles are left. It was like, okay, that's still an orgy. Let's go. No time to waste. So we go into the bedroom, and then things start to go hand here and there. And then the guy's like, you know what? 1 second, guys, I need to leave. And I'm like, okay, fine, threesome it is. Let's go. But then, as I am with the 2 girls, they're like, where is he? I'm kind of worried. Should we check on him? I'm like, no, I can handle you both. Come on. But they were not having it, so they left. And I was like, left there. I was like, I knew this was going to happen. I knew this orgy thing was going to go sour. So eventually, I collect myself. I'm like, okay. I go look for them, and I find them in the kitchen as the guy is like with a cup of tea, and he's pouring his heart out, saying that he cannot participate in this orgy because he's actually in love with this girl that he met on an exchange trip and that lives in Slovenia. But here's the sweet twist to it. He actually followed through and moved to Slovenia to be with her. And I think they're still together to this day, 10 years after, so good for them. And I did catch my flight, so yay.
Oh, I tried a strap-on for the first time recently, and it was awesome, but I have no idea how to go for longer than 2 minutes. Any tips? Okay, I never went very long on when I was using strap-ons on people, but you get like it's a core muscle thing. There's workout involved. So if you want to go longer, you got to exercise for stamina. I hate to tell you. Or you can make the person who's getting it do the work. You just lie back. It's valid. That's what cowboy, cowgirl, cow person is for. Just like lie back, and get that thing sticking straight up and then have them pump it, all right? Which is equally hot, but then you don't have to worry about your fucking abs, okay? So there you go. That's my tip for you. All right, I'm open for discussion about what is the gender neutral form of cowgirl, cowboy as a position. Cowpoke? Cowpoke! Yes! Cowpoke is it. There's no more discussion. Yeah. We just said it. You can take that out into the world. Cowpoke it is. Bull rider. I hadn't had sex for 5 years and was out of the dating pool before I went to a sex party that changed my life. Now I'm polyamorous with an amazing partner, and we are exploring the kinky side of Berlin together. I mean, let's be honest, the kinky side of Berlin is fucking everywhere. So like, you don't have to go that far for it.
I'm gonna have to trigger warning this one for throwing up. Like more of it than most stories. Like I have a partner who can't hear this story. So this is set in Sydney, Australia, where I traveled for a conference. But I've never, right? I've never had any poet conferences, so I was on Tinder. And it was actually my first time on Tinder. You know, I'd been polyamorous for about a year, and I was ready to go out and explore myself. And on my Tinder profile, I had a picture of myself in a collar. And this guy messages me with, "Nice collar, does it have a leash?" And I was like, ooh. So we were talking about our schedules. I was actually due to fly up to Cairns to go snorkeling in the reef the next day. And so I didn't have much time, but he was like, "Oh, well, I can drive you to my house and we can just, hang out. No pressure or anything." But I am definitely the type who's like, let's yes, let's go. And so he told me that, I like collars, especially because, I'm really big and they're helpful for giving blowjobs. And I was like, oh, okay, like, I don't know. Like, I've not actually, I'd read a lot of stories about, giving guys with big dicks blowjobs, but not done a lot of it at that point. This was years ago. And so we got to his house and things progress quite quickly and quite delightedly. And so at some point, I'm on my knees, taking him in my mouth, and like I've trigger warninged for, he pushed past into my gag reflex, and I threw up. We finished undressing me, threw my clothes in the washer, and then just went to the shower. Because the thing is that, as I suspected, it did not dampen my enthusiasm for giving this nice man a blowjob. And, it was very we were definitely doing some power dynamics, but every time I would pull off his dick vomiting in the shower, where we could clean up very easily, he would wait for me to come back and do more, and I inevitably would. So, eventually, thank you. So this went on a while, and we drew the evening to a close at some point, and my clothes were not quite clean, and got back dressed up. He drove me back, and as we're in the car, I noticed the thing is that when I was in the moment, didn't feel just how sour the bile was, but as we're in the car, I'm sitting there like, oh, I don't feel great. He's like, well, actually, I'm a doctor. And what I recommend is lots of fluids, and don't brush your teeth, because if you brush your teeth right after you throw up, apparently it degrades the enamel, and that's not the kind of degradation that we like. And so that's how I ended up, in Sydney, Australia, with a sour stomach for a few days, honestly. I really went at it. Flew up, and I just remember, I have this vivid memory of snorkeling, looking at the pretty fishes, just thinking about sex and my stomach. So yeah, just, pay attention to medical advice if you play hard, is what I'm going to say. Thank you.
I mean, God bless kink positive medical practitioners, right? I was with a guy for 2.5 years who didn't like to go down on me because he didn't like the taste. Wait. I always felt like he was doing me a massive favor. Then after we broke up, I ate pussy for the first time, and I realized that anyone who gets to worship at the altar of the vulva is blessed. Blessed. Okay. Tips for helping with libido when you're taking antidepressants. Oh, see, the room is just like, you can hear it like vibrating. Everyone's like, oh yeah. Anybody have any tips? I can sense that people are getting like the sympathy around it, but does anyone have any tips for dealing with that? Yes. So you read somewhere that Viagra actually works for people with vaginas who are having problems with who are taking antidepressants and having a low libido because of that. So it's a little bit of a counteracting thing. Check that out first. This is just hearsay. I read it on the internet. Is unfortunately not a scientific screening. What else? Come on now. Eh? Read fan fiction. That'll boost your mood. Quit your antidepressants. Oh, switch. I was going to say that's a bold choice. Yes, you should talk to your doctor because by now it is well established that this is a side effect for some/many people, but it's not true for all. Like everyone has different reactions to different medicines, right? So talk to your doctor. I know sometimes they can be a little dismissive about things like, oh, you want sexual pleasure? Just stand strong and demand it. You know, you're paying money for those things, so you're paying insurance for those things at least. So ask for it. Yeah, I feel like that covers it. It's good. Okay.
So, sweet or sours, I have a story that also comes from a conference. That was the inspiration to actually submit my name. This dates back 16 years. And not so, I don't know if that's geeky or not, a political conference, so slightly different kind of geekiness, a lot of hooking up anyway. And like, you know, conference during the day, drink at night, sleep 2 hours, repeat. So there's this guy that I met, like kept meeting at these conferences, and at this particular one in Sofia, we had an issue that we were sharing hotel rooms. So there's not a lot of space to get, you know, freaky, unless you want to kick them out every night, like put a tie at the door to notice, like for them to notice, stay the fuck out of here. So we kind of always receded to this couch in front of the elevator. It was always nice, you know, you would hear a bing and you wouldn't know who's coming out of the elevator to stop you from making out. Yeah, we had one night where we actually ended up with the tie in the bedroom. It was as every first sex, not awesome. But, you know, we kept going. At least the making out was fun. So the last night of the conference, he had to go, like, catch a 7 a.m. flight, 8 a.m. flight. Doesn't matter. We got totally shit-faced. And we made out on that couch. And things were getting quite, you know, hot and sweaty and really nice, and we were kissing, and suddenly he looks at me, he's like, this is not good, and he ran to the plant pot in the corner. Sweet turned into sour, right? The plant did not have a lot of fun, and I was just sitting there thinking, like, am I that bad? Is it really that terrible? Like, I should check my kissing, speaking of the, you know, the fuck bucket thing. The sweet twist of the story, as the one that we heard before has, this man is my husband now. The sex has gotten better. We're in a lovely poly relationship now, and he dragged me to my first smut slam here tonight, so thank you very much.
I love it so much when my girlfriend watches me being fucked by someone else, especially when my dynamic with the other person involves BDSM. When I'm tied and being flogged and she winces every time I scream and gets so turned on by it, I start dripping so much. Oh. That's correct. This is very hardcore. Objectively speaking, I enjoy blood choking during sex. One of the best orgasms I had was just coming back from unconsciousness and going straight into the orgasm. I don't know. I've never heard the phrase blood choking, but y'all, I have to remind you, especially if you're new to choking or airplay or breath play, you gotta be so damn careful with this. I don't want anyone thinking, yeah, I could strangle someone into unconsciousness and that'll be fun. This person found it fun. This person has clearly been playing with this a lot, but like this is not like, that is not BDSM 101. You were talking about like twisty little nipple play being like 101. This is not 101, all right? So I don't even know if there's workshops about this. There's probably workshops about this. There's workshops about every damn thing in Berlin. Get yourself some education before you start choking people out. Thank you very much. Oh. When you and your partner are both on a dry spell, fall depression, sad frowny face. I mean, lean into the coziness, right? This is my feeling about fall. Like, I know that it kind of landed quickly in the last month or so, but just like lean into it, get cuddly, get that hot chocolate out there, like just enjoy the cuddles, right? Because come September or come the next summer, you're going to be slathering on shitty sunscreen and trying to get a grip on the railing, and you're going to be thinking like, it's a little cold out here still. Maybe I should have some hot chocolate. Anyway, interesting. One of my favorite things about going down on my partner is how their pussy tastes different each time. Sometimes sweet, sometimes sour, always delicious. I can even predict when they are about to have their period at this point. It's that metallic tang, right? Interesting. Okay, normally when someone writes in here, when they write in here audience survey, I'm like, don't tell me when to do an audience survey. But this is actually interesting. Audience survey. Okay. As a child or teenager, did you draw dicks? Raise your hand if you did. Did you draw dicks as a child or teenager? Okay. Hands down. What about vulvas? Did you draw vulvas? Okay? If yes to vulvas, where are you from? I'll clarify. In my experience, only Finns draw vulvas. They are also called church boats. Are you finished? And you also. And so you're like, wait, did I meet you up in Helsinki one time already? Yes, I did, like years ago. Holy shit, yeah. Yeah, oh my God, okay, so the fins up here are like, yeah, it's all vulvic, yeah, for sure, okay. Shit, that's hilarious. Anybody else, any other fins in the audience? It's like, no, we just drew, oh yeah. And are you saying, yes, I drew vulvas? Yeah? That is so random. Okay, did you draw buttholes when you were, no, I don't think that's going to work. You did. They're really easy to draw, just little asterisks, right? Okay. That's stunning. What an amazing ethnographic insight right there. That's impressive. Church boats. Church boats? I understand the shape involved, yes. But why church? Why church? I see. So they're talking about the boats, and so like these boats are called church boats, but then here's the boat. Get in. Get wet. Man. I love tonight's like fuck bucket. It's been nothing but a gift this whole time. Hey? Yes. Is it because you don't have gendered pronouns that you have more equality in the genitalia drawing? I don't. Someone needs to do a paper about it. Okay. A conference. Okay. We're going to give a community magic moment for this person. I was raised Roman Catholic as a little boy. Getting over their sexual bullshit, moral teaching, is a lifelong struggle for me. So we're just going to shout one more ooh yeah as a room for this person Because if it's a struggle for them constantly, they need all the love they can get, and we can do that for them right now. So I said I wasn't woo, but I'm getting progressively more woo about community and sex talk and like real talk, you know? So let's just like, you're thinking about all the good, like you're going to get in your head, like, okay, the times when I felt the most liberated, when I knew what I wanted, when I could appreciate what I wanted, and I didn't feel any shame for what I wanted. You're going to get that energy right now up into the air when you shout, ooh, yeah. Okay, everyone there, you got that? Think about a time. It doesn't have to be like everything, just a time that really sang to you. Okay, and we're going to shout out, ooh, yeah, on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Ooh, yeah! Yeah. Soak in that! All right. It feels like that was enough that we can all take a little piece of that if you need it, all right? How to say, ooh, yeah, more often in bed. You don't have to ask, you can just say it. I mean, I gotta tell you that some people are probably gonna not react well to that, but make it a thing. Make it a thing. Okay. Yes. How do you say that? Frankly, you just open your mouth and push some air out and say those words. Your life, just this, ooh, yeah, your life is awesome. Anything you want to add to the bedroom, go ahead and just say it. And I guess how the person reacts to it is going to tell you how much more you want to hang out with them a little bit, right? So, ooh, yeah. Thanks for listening, y'all. And special thanks to Crack Bellmer, of course, for being a wonderful indoor slam location for us these past few years. I want to invite you, if you want your Life is Awesome stories sooner rather than later, you should consider joining our Patreon, all right? There is a wealth of bonus episodes with stories and fuck buckets that never made it onto a regular podcast episode on there. Plus, you get to listen to the regular episodes a few days earlier, right? So just for a few extra dollars or euros a month, you are supporting the further spread of wholesome sleaze through Smut Slam on the podcast. So go to patreon.com/Your Life is Awesome and join our little smut connoisseur lounge. All right. You can also help by writing a review on Apple Podcasts. You can put a little something down about how you find it. This helps the show boost in the algorithms, gives us a little more exposure, and helps other people to find and enjoy this. All right. Now, if you are lucky enough to be part of the Smut Slam in-person network, that is, you live in a city where we have in-person, in-your-face slams going on, just fucking sit back and brace yourself, because I want to go ahead and download the whole thing through basically the end of the calendar year. You should be keeping up with us in the various Instagram channels for the various chapters. And of course, we have our website, smutslam.com. But for those of you listening in, here it is for your ease and convenience. All right. Have your pencil ready here. We have on November 11th, Copenhagen, that's me hosting it. November 12th, Didi Brazier is hosting in Calgary. On the 13th, I will be hosting in Barcelona. On the 16th, we have Didi back in Edmonton. So she's doing a whole fucking Western Canada tour over the next month and a half. So you want to stay in touch with Didi for sure on Instagram. Again, November 16th, Didi's doing Edmonton. For the first time, Edmonton and Calgary. Those are her first times there with the slam. All right. On the 17th, I will be hosting in my home slam in Berlin. November 18th, Victor Victrola, who is based in Boston, is taking the slam to Rhode Island for the first time. Pawtucket, Rhode Island, the Bimbo Factory. All right. On November 18th. Look for that. On November 21st, Diva Darling is hosting in Baltimore. On the 27th of November, we have Didi in Victoria, British Columbia. And on the 29th I'm in Manchester. On the 30th of November, Didi keeps on strolling over to Vancouver, British Columbia. All right. Then in December, we have December 2nd, back in Boston, Victor Victrola. December 9th, I'll be hosting Copenhagen again. On the 14th, December 14th, we get a little taste of Busty Latish there in Amsterdam, December 14th. And on the 15th is the Berlin Slam back here at Crack Bellmer. All right. So there's the full list. Fucking write it down and we'll see you out at one of those, hopefully. Of course, if you don't live in these locations, aren't you lucky you've got this podcast? Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you next time. Of course, as the weather gets colder in the Northern Hemisphere, we want to encourage you to bundle up, stay warm, stay well, take care of your health, mask if you gotta, stay vaxxed as much as you can, and we'll see you next time. Yeah? Remember, your life is awesome.
This has been Your Life is Awesome, a story podcast from Smutslam with Cameron Moore. Produced by me, Marc Seistedt. Music by Sticky Biscuits. A huge thank you to all storytellers featured. All stories are being shared with permission. If you want to help us make more of these, plus get access to longer episodes and other bonus material, please join our Patreon at patreon.com. Your Life is Awesome. If that's not in the cards right now, you can also help by rating and reviewing this show. Look for that option in your podcast app. We might read out some reviews on a future episode. Got a question for Cameron? Write or send a voice recording to smutslampodcast@gmail.com. This too might be featured on the podcast. And if you want to find out more about Smutslam and the code of conduct we use in the shows, go to smutslam.com. All links mentioned can be found in the podcast info. Thanks for listening.